Hi, my name's Daniel and welcome to the news. No need to choose a mystery pill? Wrong Morpheus. Project Morpheus has been slated for a release in the first half of 2016, according to Sony, a fact they revealed at this week's Game Developers Conference, along with a hand-built prototype they say is pretty close to the final product. They will start sending these out to developers soon in order to have games for release. The prototype featured an upgraded screen that reduced latency and blur, while Sony said the retail model will support 120 frames per second natively supported by the PS4. Shuhei Yoshida said of the device, "Trying VR for the first time is the worst time because you are not familiar to the VR experience. So we really want to make good hardware before we bring it to the market in large scale." Sounds like they took the advice of Oculus, who met with them last year to discuss the future of VR. Oculus advised that if Sony were to do it, it should be done well so as not to cheapen or lessen the VR experience, but elevate it. Sony has also been very hands-off when asking teams to develop for the hardware. Yoshida says, "These days we're not doing much of the 'you cannot do this' kind of communication with game developers. We used to do it a lot, but you can make a VR game that makes everyone sick in 20 seconds. I think we need to reintroduce a bit more design-side conversation with developers if they bring in something we feel is dangerous." So it really sounds like Sony has the best in mind for Morpheus. When discussing price point, they said they wanted an affordable piece of hardware, but didn't want to produce a low-quality experience for less money from the consumer. I can't wait to get my hands on Morpheus, just a year to wait. You no longer need to be the one to develop for Xbox One. Also at GDC, Phil Spencer of Microsoft announced that an Xbox One SDK will be released to the public, allowing indies and hobbyists to develop for the console finally. The SDK has already launched to a few select testers, but it will be rolling out in the next few months to the general public. Xbox is also expanding its Idea Xbox program to include Windows 10 developers, allowing people to develop for the console, PC, and even the new HoloLens. The SDK also comes packed with access to Xbox Live features and services, and there will even be a new Xbox Live tier, allowing developers to engage with the community. This is wonderful news for all of you at home, and especially students of game development, so get onto your course directors about adopting the SDK as soon as possible. Xbox has always been very accommodating of indies, especially the smaller team kind. It's great to see the tradition continue with this generation. Okay, dystopian future, check. Weird looking race of people looking to dominate, check. 3 in the series, check. Wait, no, Half-Life 3. But Source 2 was announced as available free for all content developers, and though we've known about Source 2 for a little while, as it was teased in a Dota 2 update last year, this is the first official announcement. It is once again great to see it is free for content developers, a move which Valve says will keep the PC in the market as a dominant gaming device. Jay Stelly said, "With Source 2, our focus is increasing creator productivity. Given how important user-generated content is becoming, Source 2 is designed not just for the professional developer, but enabling gamers themselves to participate in the creation and development of their favorite games." So, a nice simple to use tool with some complicated bits hidden in the middle. Though it's unclear if the engine will be free to use or charge a subscription or a fee based on game sales, it will at least be free to download. Strap in tight though, because Source 3 could be a long way off, if you know what I mean. Agent Smith of Nintendo doesn't like what you've been doing with the 3DS browser. We previously reported on an exploit that allowed users of the 3DS, among other things, to play Game Boy Color ROMs. This loophole in the system has now been closed with a new firmware update. The exploit was also used to edit the console settings and make it region-free, and to change the price of items in the free-to-play game Pokemon Shuffle, reducing the cost to nothing. You may not like the rules, you may not even agree with them, but Nintendo doesn't like holes in its system, and that's understandable. And when you're losing money on an already free game, you've got a real problem, so it's no surprise they've been quick to fix it. The new 3DS was unaffected as it shipped with a later firmware, but all who update will no longer have access to the exploit. That's all for this week's news. What games will you be making with the Xbox One SDK? What games would you love to see on the Morpheus? And Half-Life Episode 3. What about Half-Life Episode 3? Don't forget to tickle my unicorn to subscribe. If you missed the last video, you can catch it here. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. See you next time.